SwimNinja.com here with the Langley coaching staff. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name's Jason Cochrane. I'm the head coach for the Langley Wild Things this summer.
I'm Kat Owczarski. I'm one of the assistant coaches.
All right, Jason and Kat, maybe Jason, let's start with you, then we'll go to Kat. Tell us about your entire history, life history in the sport of swimming, where you started swimming, how you got into coaching, and what you're up to nowadays.
So I grew up in northern New Jersey, and I got my start at just a local summer pool. We were the Stardust Dolphins, and that's where I did my learn to swim. It was my introduction to swim team, and I'll always still remember my first swim instructor, Jackie, for actually getting me to not only learn how to swim, but jump off the diving board.
Mm-hmm.
From there, I swam. I was a three-sport athlete, so I didn't swim year-round as much, but summer league was always important to me growing up. I did most of my time at Stardust, and then I actually moved over to a pool closer to my house, and I was a member of the Burnham Barracudas through high school. I swam through high school and was mainly a butterflyer, breaststroker, did some IM. Had an opportunity to swim in college, but had a bad shoulder injury, so that ended after freshman year. But that's when I started to get more into the coaching side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually started my own summer league team.
Okay.
I was 19 years old, and I went to my boss that summer, and we didn't have a summer league team. And I asked, I was like, have you ever thought of starting a team? And he said, well, do you want to run it? And I was like, sure. So I started a team. We had a couple dual meets. I found a little championship meet we could have at the end, and that was my introduction to coaching. After college, I went back for one more summer and tried to figure out what I was going to do. And the aquatics director was coaching for a small team in New Jersey and said they were looking for assistant coaches. So they asked if I was interested. I said, sure. So that was my introduction more into the USA coaching side of things.
Sure.
And 14 and a half years later, I'm still loving it, still coaching every day. I spent 2.5 years coaching in New Jersey. Then I moved up and I coached for 7 years in a YMCA in Connecticut, the Darien YMCA Piranhas, and that's kind of where I got my first full-time coaching job and learned more about the professional side of coaching.
Yep.
And the planning side of things and getting involved. While I was up there, I got into a country club summer league, and I also coached high school. And then from there, I moved to Austin, Texas for 2.5 years. I coached for a big team, one of the top teams in the country, Nitro Swimming. At the time, we were top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure where they're ranked now, but it was always fun. And that was my introduction to working more with national level athletes, Olympic trials qualifiers, people that went on to World Juniors, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I always knew I wanted to get back to the East Coast. So I currently work for Machine Aquatics, an assistant national coach and lead national prep coach. And I've been there for 2 years. And then as far as the NVSL, this is my second year in the NVSL. Last year I was the head coach for the 100 Mil Sharks.
Okay.
And this year I made the switch, and I'm now a member of the Langley Wild Things.
Great. So, when I guess you bounced around a fair amount, do you anticipate being here for the foreseeable future?
I definitely love this area. And when I was looking at the full-time position with Machine, I really wanted to make it a long-term move.
Mm-hmm.
So my plan is to stay in the Northern Virginia area and to keep involved in all sides of swimming.
Okay. Kat, let's turn to you. Tell us a little bit about your whole swimming history.
Yeah, absolutely. So I first moved to the area, McLean, in I think 1999 and joined the Kent Gardens Dolphins. And we made the switch over to Langley in 2003, I think. So I was around 7 or 8 years old, and I've been at Langley Wild Things ever since. I didn't start swimming competitively year-round until I was 11 or so. That's when I started making A-meets. I wanted to get better, and I swam 2 years for NCAP, and then started swimming for Machine pretty much throughout all of high school.
Okay.
During that time, I swam for my high school team. I started swimming here. I was swimming for 3 different teams at one point, just like a
What was your high school
recreational one.
team?
I went to a private school, so like the Oakcrest Chargers, which is
Okay.
another private school in the area. And I started coaching here as a junior coach when I was 14, and then started as an assistant in 2013, and I've been here ever since.
Okay. Great. So, help me then understand and jump in as much as you can about what is great about coaching at this pool.
Yeah, I love just the community aspect of it. Like I think, ever since Jason's come in, like he's really been a part of our family. everyone here is like, we all know each other, we all grew up together, we're all very welcoming, everyone has each other's backs, we all do fun things after practices, during practices. It's just a really good environment to grow up and be a part of.
And I think, for summer swimming, it's really the truest form of swimming in a way, because it's the introduction for most kids.
Right.
And when you do grow up in a neighborhood and you have that opportunity to swim with your friends and get to know new people as they move in, I just think it's so important to be a part of something, and for these guys to have that traditions and to know that you can start as that mini Wild Thing at maybe 5 years old and work your way all the way up and then end up coaching for the team.
Right.
I think it's really special to be a part of something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
awesome. And I guess you've probably seen a lot of different types of summer league and different levels of competition. Can you talk about what you've seen, I guess, in a year and a meet so far of what stands out to you about swimming in the NVSL then?
NVSL is like nothing else I've ever seen for summer league. I know the league that I grew up in New Jersey, it was a one division league. And there were about 6 teams, and we swam dual meets, and then we had an end of season meet. So coming to a 17 division league is just insane. I believe it's 17 division. Yeah. I mean, I still can't fathom that number. And it's just a whole nother animal. But it's exciting because you really do have levels that fit everyone's need and everyone's competitiveness.
Sure.
And I think it's just really pretty cool to see how exciting the meets are.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot more energy in summer league meets in the NVSL than in different parts of the country I've been in.
Wow. So let's turn back to you then, Kat. Help me understand, I guess, a little bit about what goes on away from the pool that makes this a great summer experience for your little ones, for your seniors, for parents, for anybody that's involved in the process.
Yeah, we do lots of fun social events. I think there's at least one major one every week. Like today, if you look down at the pavilion, we have pancakes for all the swimmers. They can enjoy a nice pancake breakfast after practice. Tonight we have a dinner for all of our older kids. We try to do a lot of 13 and over events to really get the older swimmers involved in the team, so that they are just hanging out with all their friends. We can entice them with food, and so they can stick around and just get to know everyone and have a good time.
You found Langley's had a bunch of success over the past however many years, constantly moving up, and maybe you might be able to talk a little bit about how the things that you all as a team do away from the pool impact what you all do in the pool come Saturday.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is just building camaraderie. Because when I was a senior in high school, so my last year swimming for this team, I think was the year we won Division 5, I think, for the first time in a while. And I think part of the reason we were so successful is because we, for the first time, pame together on Friday nights, and after pep rallies, we decorated the pool. And that was something Langley had really never done until that year. And so just getting everyone there, we were all painting banners together. We all took our handprints and posted them on different bed sheets and posters. Just being there together and having such a shared vision and shared experience, I think made us a stronger team. We trusted each other more on our relay starts. We were cheering for each other more in our races.
Yep.
I think just the community really helped bring us that much success.
That's awesome. So now you're up in Division 1. You all started, at least in your lifetime, were as low as Division 12 and have moved up all the way to the top of the league. What does that mean to, I guess, you for seeing how this pool, this community has, built on that success over time?
It's been awesome. Back in the day when we were in 12, no one cared as much. It was just we'll swim our Saturday meets, but it's fine. They'll be fine. But people didn't really put in much effort, so people would schedule so many vacations, so
Right.
it didn't really matter. We didn't have as many people on the team. Our membership has grown as well over the years. So just seeing how the pool is becoming bigger, how people are more into it, there's more spirit, there are more social events, parents are getting more involved. Just seeing that rise has just made it feel so much more like a family than anything else.
So you feel like there's been a gradual transformation in everything else that goes on as the team has continued to improve?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's really interesting, because I feel like a lot of the teams that are at the top of the league have been in that realm for a long time, and Langley's special because it's been as far down as 12 in the middle, bottom end of the league, and moved all the way up. And so maybe you're getting at a little bit that a lot of those other things that go on help to contribute to being a successful summer program.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think we would not be in Division 1 if the parents and the swimmers didn't care as much as they did. We have people who are flying back early from Nantucket so they can make it on Saturday, so they can swim we have parents who have spent like just all night like getting some spirit wear together. We have t-shirts, we have rain jackets, like we have all of these things that would just not even be possible without the work that our families have done.
Well, that's great to hear. Jason, you've definitely been around a lot of different levels of swimming, and maybe, I don't know if any of this stands out to you. I mean, you've already talked about how the NVSL is different, but in a maybe more wholesome picture, especially since you coach at such a high level in club, that what does all this other stuff stand out to you in terms of being able to benefit, being able to compete? You know, I guess if you're on a pool deck at a club meet for hours at a time, tell me a little bit about just like the weekly process here and getting excited for a meet.
So for summer league meets, I think it's completely different than your club environment. The club side tends to be a little bit more individualized, and we have our individual goals, and then come championship meets, you see more of that team aspect, and we're competing to try and win, whether it's an NCSA meet or things like that.
Right.
I think the difference between club and summer league and the excitement factor is that it truly is a family, and everything is about the team. So I feel like everyone's involved in everyone's swim at a meet because they're always cheering each other on, because that point matters.
Yeah.
You know, and whether we're competing to win or we're just competing to get personal bests, seeing people genuinely excited for each other after each swim, and the smiles on their faces, and knowing that you're not only doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for your pool and your family, and your team is your family.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a completely different environment, and it kind of, I think, is what sets the tone where a lot of them end up wanting to be high school swimmers, because you get that same feel, and just creating that team aspect of swimming versus that individual side.
And that's really interesting to hear, because for somebody who's coached at such a high level, that you're able to find, you know, enjoyment even in, I mean, very amateur bottom level swimming. And I mean, I understand that there's lots of good swimmers here
Right.
in the NVSL, but talk a little bit about how you as a coach are able to differentiate between being on your national team deck in the morning with Machine and then come over here and coach at Langley.
I think, if anything, it provides sanity for me. I love, to this day, still teaching the sport of swimming and getting kids to enjoy it. And it's not so much about wins and losses for me. It's about getting kids to enjoy coming to the pool and to learn skills that will help them throughout their whole life. Even today in our practice with our 9 to 12-year-olds, I did a little set where teaching them to work together as a team. You know, and we did kicking where they had to kick across the lane and stay together, and just learning those life skills and learning how to be a part of a team and to work together to make us even stronger at those meets on Saturdays. It's the fun side of swimming.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we get lost in the grind of club swimming, and I love it, and it's what I'll do for as long as I can. But to be able to have that break from the club side, to come in, enjoy it, get in the water, help make a difference with these kids and just show them a good time, while also teaching them how to work, you know, it's what's fun for me. That's
awesome.
What's kept me year after year doing a summer league environment.
That's great. Well, my last question is, this Saturday is your first home meet in Division I. Do you guys have anything really exciting planned for it?
Oh yeah, we have a ton of stuff planned. Like the other day, I was went through my Amazon shopping cart, and there's like $200 worth of things in there. We were going to decorate. This entire pool will be unrecognizable, hopefully, from Saturday
That's awesome.
morning.
Well, I hope that you guys take pictures and videos, send it in to us so we can show the rest of the league. Otherwise, we'll definitely be seeing you all soon. So best of luck this season, and thank you for sitting with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.